Welcome you guys back into my next video. So today I have nice, beautiful information to give you. So every single day it's nice and beautiful information that's going to help you move forward. Unfortunately, every single day I'm focusing on understanding that if you go and do busking performances around town, you must have a portable speaker and you must also have a microphone to be able to go into a tunnel somewhere. Go into a tunnel, and if you are doing whatever around guitar or let's say public speaking, get yourself a guitar input as well, and then be able to go and sing with a microphone with a portable speaker, and it works. Unfortunately, every single day you must understand that what's important is making sure that sometimes you can use other people's landlines and you can use the accommodation number of your number. So let's say, for example, you are staying at let's just say you are staying at A or at an accommodation center where you need a landline number. So you need somebody else's phone to call somebody else, because sometimes your reception or your phone's reception never works. So what you have to do is you have to rely on other people here. But as long as you gave money for it, guess what? Why do they never ever give you the phone service line? Because you're giving money to stay at their accommodation place. You may as well ask them to just do a quick phone call here and there. Rush now every single day. Rush now, if you have great communicational skills, and if you have no communicational skills at all, guess what? You still have to learn how to communicate, and you still have to ask somebody on the side to just give a quick phone call to somebody, because guess what? That's the thing. Never rely on other people and their phone services and their phone lines and landlines to give people a call. So get your own phone and get your own credits, and then understand either way, it's $10 a month with a MaSIM. So every single day you can call people every single month for just $10. And I understand, and you're never doing it for $10, you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the word I. I'm not sure that every single day, do it for the word I only, because that's the only way to communicate and that's the only way to do anything. So every single day I'm focusing on understanding that. Just recently I was sleeping. And guess what? I understand either way that time is passing by. I realize it's 9 o'clock. I say, hey, I have to sleep. I have to sleep more. I realize I need more sleep than this. I'm speaking to myself the whole time while I'm sleeping. And then 11 a.m. pops up and I say, hey, I have to sleep more. I realize, I went to bed at 5:30 o'clock. I went to bed at 5 o'clock. I went to bed at 5:30 o'clock in the morning, although it was around 11 o'clock in the morning. And I said, hey, I realized that no matter what, I still have to get more sleep. I have to get more sleep. But I realized that I'm talking to myself the whole time while I'm sleeping. And now either way, I woke up around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But I understand that's a late call. Although guess what? I'm flexible. I'm able to sleep during the day. I'm able to wake up during the night and work all night. I'm able to work all day long. I'm able to go and work on myself. And that's the whole work schedule of my life. I have nothing else to do other than making sure I'm growing myself. So I'm always growing myself to the best ability that I can. So instead of me having to write now and do physical writing inside of my nice, beautiful phones, I just get on my phone and I start doing a recording like this, and I start to record for 1 hour. You understand? And now every single day, if I have more to say, I stop this video and I start another one. But I make sure 1 hour blocks of time I can do my videos in. I want to upload my videos in 1 hour blocks. So what I do now is understand that either way, I must put my phone on plane mode, for example. So if I try to go and put my phone on plane mode now, I realize that all I do is I put on flight mode right here. Now my phone's on flight mode and it's actually recording right now. Do you see what I've done? I just went into my phone, I did scroll down, and you didn't even see that. You never even seen my scroll down. How amazing is that with a phone where I can scroll down and be pressing buttons on the screen, and you're just seeing my face. That's amazing, yeah. So what you do is you put your phone straight away on airplane mode once you are about to, let's say, do a video recording. But let's say if you are late to do, if you are late to do so, make sure you go to the phone and just scroll down and put airplane mode and just press airplane mode, because otherwise somebody may call you, and then what happens is they ruin your time. Now since they go out and ruin your time, you must understand to never ruin your own time. So make sure to go and put on airplane mode so that nobody disturbs your videos. In a sense, so let's say for example your video is whatever type of length. Guess what? If you have to go and export it into UCut and you have to go and transfer it to 480 pixels, guess what? It's best for you to understand that you go and do that. Why is that? Because guess what? You're going to save a lot more money in the process and time, exporting your videos at 480 pixels than at 720 HD or 1080 HD or 5K resolution or 20,000K resolution or 50,100K resolution. I mean, big deal. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, what's amazing is understanding that 480 pixels is more enough for you to see me. I mean, look how you're watching this video. I mean, you're watching me at 4K. I mean, you're watching this video at 480 pixels. I mean, you understand? I mean, why? Because I understand I save money and time uploading this video. I just realize every single day that no matter what, if I just go and upload this video just as is, right now, I understand either way, I'm always doing better, but I understand every single day I'm focusing on saying that there's always a better way. Right now, if you go and maximize your potential, to go and realize that no matter what you're going to do daily is you're going to focus upon better life techniques, and then guess what? You put 2 hour or 3 hour or 4 hour videos into UCut application or into an application and put it into 480 pixels, and guess what? You're going to save 7 gigabytes of uploading or whatever. I mean, in a sense, so for every single 7 gigabytes or every single gigabyte that I save uploading, I save 2 gigabytes. So I make sure they understand I'm posting this video into Mega Drive first and then into the nice, beautiful YouTube. I mean, in a sense, so if it's 7 gigabytes for me to upload this into Mega Drive, I have to upload another 7 gigabytes into YouTube just for 1 hour. I mean, on 720 HD. I mean, guess what? I mean, I just go and do it on my nice, beautiful 480 pixels, and it's going to be 7 gigabytes instead of 14 gigabytes. I saved 7 gigabytes. I mean, understand? I saved $7 because guess what? I mean, either way, you must understand per gigabyte in Australia is $1. I mean, for every gigabyte I upload online is $1 Australian. I mean, that's how it is in Australia. I mean, that's how it is around the world as well. I mean, for every gigabyte that you do in life in terms of internet is $1 per gigabyte. I understand? But guess what I do? I go and get myself prepaid vouchers. I get myself prepaid vouchers, and then guess what? I get $15. I go and get a $15 bonus or a starter pack of a new SIM card and a new number, because I have 2 numbers. And now one number is my personal number and my other number is just for discounts. And now what I do is I change up my number. I go and get $15 to get 40 gigabytes. I mean, instead of giving $40 to get 40 gigabytes, I give $15 because I get a new number altogether. I mean, and they have prepaid, or else they have prepaid vouchers and discounts like that to get a new SIM card. I mean, so I'm always loving I. I'm focusing on understanding that sometimes people can decline you even if you ask. I mean, they may say yes to giving a phone call, or you may ask a question, or else they may say yes the first time, but then if you ask again for the same service and they say no this time, I mean, they're saying because they may have a reason for that. I mean, in a sense, so no matter what, that if somebody says no, I mean, just go somewhere else. I mean, that's it. I mean, just be nice and polite. But if you want to start a conversation with anybody if you want to start a conversation with anybody over the phone, I mean, make sure you start with the word I. So let's say, for example, sometimes I call somebody and they say, I mean, customer reference number, please, and your name. I'm Danny Milivojevic, and this is my number. I understand. I am Danny Milivojevic. I never say Danny Milivojevic and this is my customer reference number. I say I am Danny Milivojevic because I start with the I. Whereas now sometimes I love I. I always love I, but understand that what's amazing is, for example, sometimes somebody may come on the phone and say, Kathy, and this is the nice, beautiful hotel, and this is the suburb. I mean, how may I help you? I mean, you say, I'm Danny Milivojevic, but say, hi, Kathy, I'm just here to understand either way. I need to book my accommodation, for example. I mean, I understand that the sentence that I start with in this nice, beautiful theory is always the word I. So when they tell you the name, you say, I understand you, Kathy. I'm Danny Milivojevic. I say, nice to meet you. I mean, that's it. I'm very nice to meet you. I promise you, I'm very nice every single day to make sure every single day I'm always doing something better and recording myself in daily products and daily videos to go and do leadership around Australia and everything. I promise you now, every single day, I'm focusing on saying that if you want to go around Australia or around the world, there's always different states, for example, in Australia, for example, and around the world. I mean, you have different states. In America, I mean, you have Los Angeles, I mean, you have California. I mean, it's all different states. I mean, it's all Texas, and this is California, and I mean, this is New York. I mean, Washington is its own state, for example. I mean, in a sense, so there's always different states and different cities. And now for every single city or state, there's a different number of a service provider that you have to call to gain a bus or service, train station, let's say service, or let's say train or bus service, or a ferry service. I mean, you can call people to gain a ferry service. I mean, there's a ferry service in your country where you can call up one number to get all the ferries. I mean, you can call up one number in your country right now to get all the bus services and all the train services. I mean, before you even get to that area of Germany or Turkey or whatever, I mean, get the taxi number before you get there. I mean, so let's say if I have to go to Brisbane, let's say I'm in Sydney, for example. I mean, what happens is I get the Brisbane taxi number before I get there because maybe Uber is going to be down and out. I mean, maybe there's no internet. I mean, I get there, I have a taxi number right away. Obviously, I have no worries because I'm preparing for it. I mean, in a sense, so if you go Coffs Harbour or if you go Port Macquarie or Africa or if you go to Alice Springs, I mean, get the taxi numbers before you get there. I mean, just get a taxi number. I mean, get the phone number. I mean, because that way people understand you. But if you understand how to give an address, I mean, go and pick a local street somewhere, or let's say pick a number. I mean, make sure that you are at a house somewhere, or let's say somewhere where there's a number where there's no traffic lights in terms of go lights, in terms of the pedestrian lights, and be away from those areas where there's a lot of traffic involving cars and buses and public transport. So go into a quiet area and get the taxi there. I mean, understand? Or go to the taxi stand right away. I mean, if you understand, in Brisbane, there's a taxi stand right next to Woolworths. I mean, just go there. I mean, if you want a taxi. I mean, instead of calling the Uber, I mean, go to the taxi. I mean, it's just 100 meters. I mean, you understand? I mean, that's how it is. But the Uber is different. I mean, Uber is something else. I mean, if you're away from a taxi stand, I mean, call the Uber. I mean, go with what's closer to you. I mean, sometimes Uber and taxi is far away and Uber's never working. And sometimes taxi is so far away, but you can call them. I mean, you can always call the taxi. But then Didi as well. I mean, Didi is another option. I mean, Didi is another option like Uber, but it's also an application where you can go into the Didi and get yourself free vouchers and all this, and you can get discounts and you can get yourself where you want to go. I mean, you understand? So in Brisbane right now, you must understand that you can find $30 accommodation around town, and you must understand that no matter what, that from all of Australia, I mean, it's $25 a night to about over that in terms of from 25 bucks and more to find yourself, let's say, accommodation around Australia that's one bedroom. I mean, so the most affordable one that I've actually found is in the Nomads Brisbane, where it's $22 a night. I mean, so either way, I mean, right now, I mean, they are around 50 bucks right now. So every single day, you must understand that it fluctuates. I mean, rents every single day around accommodation and real estate and all this is always fluctuating. But what you need to do is never get yourself in a lease. And what is a lease? I mean, a lease is a contract that you sign. And now, if you sign a lease, you then have to be giving money for a certain period of time to be able to hold that event or that place or that area for your name. So that place is under your name for a certain period of time. I mean, it may be 6 months. I mean, it may be 2 months, but whatever. I mean, a lease, for example, if you sign a lease with a rent, I mean, then you're giving rent for a certain period of time because it's a contract. You understand? But never sign a lease. I mean, never do lease anything. I mean, and now, for example, let's say you get accommodation. I mean, 1 day of lease. I mean, in a sense, so I go to Coffs Harbour, I get myself a nice, beautiful accommodation center over here, which is Aussitel. And guess what? I signed 1 day. I mean, 1 day only is renting. I'm only renting for 1 day at a time at hotels and motels and hostels. I mean, 1 day at a time. I mean, why? Because I may go from a hostel to a hotel. I may go from motel to hotel. I may go from hotel to another hotel. I may go from hostel to hostel. I mean, in a sense, so no matter what, I'm always changing my multiplex. I mean, in a sense, I'm always changing the circumstance of my life because if you want to calculate money, you do it 1 day at a time. I mean, if you want to shop for something today, you do it 1 day at a time. I mean, you never go shopping for 6 months at a time for food and drink. I mean, you never have a freezer in your house that has food and drink for 6 months. I mean, why? I mean, do you plan to stay in one area for 6 months? I mean, what I do is every single day I go to the shopping center and I have food and drink. I get food and drink for 1 day's worth. I mean, what can I eat today only? I never care about tomorrow. I want to get something today. I mean, sometimes I may give $4. I may give $7 today to eat. I may give $15 today to eat. I may give 20. You understand? But I'm always shopping for 1 day at a time. I mean, clothing, I shop for 1 day at a time. I mean, I said, I never go getting 50,000 clothing and put it into a closet straight away, man. I mean, by the time you wear it, I mean, it's already 10 years has passed for you. I mean, I mean, get yourself one set of clothing. I mean, be having one set of clothing only. I mean, look at your closet today. I mean, how much clothing do you have? I mean, throw it all away. I mean, I mean, guess what? I mean, you have to be able to do that. I mean, throw everything away before you even travel. I mean, you have to understand that. I mean, when you're traveling, I mean, all you really need is yourself. I mean, get your technology with you. I mean, saying you need technology today to be able to do your work, but you need yourself the most. And now, when you're really traveling around life, right now, you must understand every single day I'm always focusing to deliver something of greater quality. So when I do that, I'm focusing on understanding that in my closet, I had all this old clothing. I had all this, let's say, clothing that was, let's say, old and there was holes in it. I mean, throw all that clothing away. I mean, that's the first step. I mean, and then throw any clothing away that is smaller size for you or something that you wore from when you're 8 years of age or 5 years of age or 2 years of age. I mean, you never need it anymore, man. I mean, that's it. I mean, you guys never need that anymore. Right now, what you need today is to understand to remove your whole closet and before traveling somewhere, remove all your closets. I mean, remove all the clothing from your life and go into the shopping center at that local area and shop for something totally new and give $500 or $200 or $300 or $20. I mean, just change something of your clothing, but have one set. I mean, have one jumper for sleeping. I mean, have one jumper for going out. I mean, sleeping clothes is different from going out clothes. So have one set of that. I mean, have one set of pajamas. I mean, have one set of going out clothes, and that's it. And that's all you ever need for travels. I mean, now when you're understanding that when you're traveling, I mean, wear the same clothes for 1 week. I mean, never wash it. I mean, never wash it. I mean, never wash your clothes. I mean, never go doing laundry with your clothing. I mean, never do it because it's a waste of time. I mean, do you have time to wash your hat and clothing for 20 minutes every single day? I mean, come on. I mean, who has time for that? I mean, do you have time to do it 1 hour every single week? I mean, come on. I mean, 1 hour live coaching video is much more. I understand. So what you do is realize that instead of washing your clothing on the go in hostels or motels or hotels where they charge you $4 per wash, I mean, you save money. I mean, you save money. So if you're washing your clothes 4 times a week, I mean, that's $16 a week. I mean, that's $16 a month. I mean, $16 a month times 12. I mean, times 12 months is a certain amount of money. But then, how long do you plan to live? I mean, let's say you plan to live up to 100 years of age. I mean, go and calculate that number to 100 years of age. So if you're 50 years of age, I mean, calculate 16 times 12 and then times 50. I mean, what is that number? I mean, you understand either way, that is the number you save because your goal is to get to 100. I mean, so either way, no matter what, that's the numbers I go by. So I'm always calculating everything by 100. So now, for example, I just did throw my hat into the washing machine. I mean, one hat, I gave $4 to wash it. I'll open the actual washing machine and the hat's all ripped. It's all gone. I mean, it's all tearing apart. Understand? I mean, it's all ripping apart because of the washing machine. I mean, it's never how I put it in. Understand? So it's all, let's say, in a destroying factor. It's all gone. I have to chuck it away because it was ripping inside of the washing machine. Understand? So I never want to wear something that's ripping. You understand? I never want to wear a hat that never makes sense for me to wear anymore because of how it looks like now. You understand? Because when you rip a hat, that's how the nice, beautiful washing machine went and was ripping my hat the whole time. It was ripping the sides. It was ripping everything, and it looks like a rip. It looks like a rip off now. So every single day, I make sure every single day that I go and get myself a new hat so that I look better. So no matter what, I understand that what you need to do with clothing every single day is make sure that with your life, you always never have anything that you're wearing for 50 years. Otherwise you look old. If you're always wearing the same hat all the time, you look very old then. It's an antique. That hat or that clothing wearer becomes an antique. And now if you're always carrying it with you, then you have to wash it too. If you have one hat that you always want to wear, I said to myself, I always want to wear this hat. But guess what? I realized that the nice, beautiful washing machine did tear it apart. Understand? Guess what? I get a new hat now. Understand? So guess what? That's what happens. But guess what? I'm happier this way. I never have to wash my hat anymore. I never have to give 10 minutes of my life every single month to wash my hat. I save 10 minutes of my life every single month for the next 72 years. That's 12 days of my life washing my hat. I never have to wash my hat anymore. Understand? So no matter what, I realize now you must understand that if you have a pair of clothing that you love, guess what? Throw it away. I mean, throw it away because eventually you need new clothing. I understand. Never hate anything, but love everything. I love my clothing. I have to throw it away, man. I have to get some new clothing. I mean, you understand? I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Washing out every single day. Focus on understanding that, for example, with clothing and everything, make sure you have one set of clothing and bring one set with you only. And now, when I bring my clothing and my stuff with me, I bring my food and drinks, I bring my technology, I bring my portable speaker. I have a 15 kilogram portable speaker. I have a technology bag that's 5 kilos. I have food bags that's around 5 kilos as well. I have a bit of clothing here and there, which is another 5 kilos. I mean, in a sense, so no matter what, I mean, that's around 30 kilos of baggage I carry around. But guess what? I never carry it around. I never carry that around. I carry it in my trolley. I have a trolley. I mean, for example, here, I mean, you can see, for example, I have a trolley. In a sense, so my beautiful selfie stick is on top of the trolley right now and on top of my portable speaker. And then I have a camping chair. So I'll bring my camping chair with me as well. I understand? So I have my own camping chair. And why do I have my own camping chair? Because I want to go with my trolley anywhere and I want to sit down when I want to sit down. I mean, yes, they're going to sit at the bus stop and on the seats and benches out there. I'm going to sit on my camping chair with my trolley right next to me. I mean, understand, because I'm rich. I want to be able to go anywhere around Brisbane and Sydney and just sit down whenever I want to. I want to sit whenever. I mean, understand, I want to sit on my camping chair while the bus is coming or at the airport. I mean, understand, I want to sit on my camping chair. You understand? I'm just like that. I'm just like, I want to have a unique chair that I bring around. And now this one, I'll get a new one. I'll get a new one. I mean, it's a $6 chair. But guess what? I mean, it's comfortable. I mean, it's comfortable. I mean, it's a camping chair. And why is it comfortable? Because there's no flat surface. I never want to sleep. I never want to sit on a flat surface. So on my bed over here, there's no chairs around me over here. I mean, it's all beds. I mean, do you want to sit on the bed or do you want to have a camping chair to sit on as well? I sit on the camping chair sometimes. I sit on the bed sometimes. But imagine just having to sit on the bed always. I mean, in a sense, so I have more privileges, don't I? So when I go around, I mean, guess what? I mean, no matter what's happening, I realize if I have to wait, I never wait. I never wait. But if the taxi's coming, I get my camping chair. I sit down on the camping chair. I mean, understand? I mean, if I go busking services somewhere, I mean, I sit down while I speak in front of people. I can't do that, but it looks lazy. I mean, it looks lazy to sit down while you're doing busking. I understand, but if you're just sitting down to promote yourself all day long and you put your portrait down, and guess what? I mean, you can do that. I mean, you can go to Brisbane or Sydney, Australia, and busk and sit down all day long and put your portrait and just be in silence while you're promoting yourself. I mean, you can do that. I mean, so then you can also get your laptop out and put your laptop here and start making music production while you're busking for 8 hours. And then guess what? I mean, people are going to see your name anyway. But that's for free. I mean, so what happens with all that is realize every single day that it works. I mean, sometimes people will follow you. I mean, you have to understand that every single day I focus on better skills. So now I understand that I'm going to, let's say, Brisbane very soon. So I have to understand that I have to get myself a portrait. So I have to give $70 to get myself portraits. And then I want to go and busk at the tunnel over there. I want to be able to go to the tunnel and I want to busk for 14 days. So you guys are going to be able to see me busking for the next 14 days in Brisbane. I mean, 3 hours a day. I mean, so no matter what, 3 hours of busking services a day in front of people. Or that's it. I mean, that's 3 hours times 14. How many hours is that? I mean, how many hours is 3 times 14? I mean, that's how much I will be public speaking in 14 days time. I mean, 14 days time. I mean, I'm doing it now. I mean, although 14 times 3, I mean, what's the number? I mean, that's how much I public speak in 14 days. I mean, in 14 days, I can public speak around that number. I mean, every single day, I want to find out the number myself, but it's around, let's say, 52 hours per fortnight. I understand every single day, I always have a calculator, so I always have a new phone, I always have new technology, so I'm always having 2 phones at least with myself to do business like this, so I can calculate on one phone while my nice beautiful phone is recording me, because the new calculator today is a phone. I mean, you never need those calculators that you see over there. I mean, you just need a phone. I understand, although you just need yourself only. Whereas now 14 times 3. I mean, I do 42 hours of public speaking in 14 days. I understand, so no matter what, I mean, 14 days of living, I get 42 hours of public speaking in front of people. I understand, because I'm doing 3 hours a day for 14 days. I understand, so every single day, I'm focusing on understanding that there's always much more that you can do to help your life succeed. But if you understand how to orchestrate your life and how to really do that, actually, it's much more to understand. It's much more of my privilege to be able to travel and to be able to go and do busking wherever I want. So if I go to Melbourne now, I have a camping chair. I can go wherever I want in life. I always bring my camping chair with me. I bring it on the plane with me. I bring it everywhere with me. I mean, I want to sit down whenever I want to sit down. Do you understand? I want to be able to sit down and have that privilege. I mean, every single day, that's the way I am. I mean, every single day I'm focusing on understanding. I'm focusing on understanding all the time much more. But I'm giving you ideas all the time, basing it on my life. So sometimes I have so many thoughts I want to give you. I have so many ideas I want to write down. But the only way I can do it is on a video. I mean, so as soon as I chuck it into a video, actually now my brain slows down. I mean, my brain slows down with the ideas, but then I start to write anyway. I start to write something down anyway, because slowly ideas come to me every single day. And now throughout time, I mean, every single minute I gain a new idea very quickly, and I have to be writing it down quickly. So, for example, when I have all these nice, beautiful ideas to give you, I straight away chuck it into a video as much as I can, because imagine how much talking I've done in 25 minutes. But imagine this 25 minutes of talking in my video is maybe 3 hours of writing it. Understand? So no matter what, you must understand that my journal, I mean, never take a journal away from you. I mean, you have to understand that writing is something big. I mean, because I can write so much, I can talk like this. I mean, in a sense, so no matter what, now I realize that since I'm ready almost to get to Sydney, I'm ready. Let's say I'm always ready. I'm ready right now to do these special events around town and to be able to do live coaching events. Eventually, I get to Sydney, and then from Sydney, Australia, I start to do more busking performances, and I also book my first gig at the Mount Pritchard RSL. And then either way, I make sure I give $500 to book the room for 8 hours, and then from that point, I mean, my advertisement's going around Mounties for about 1 month, and then I have a full capacity room of people who are going to give me $50 each. But what I do is understand that, for example, let's say they charge you $500 for the room for 8 hours. I mean, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you're going to make that money back with 10 ticket sales. I understand. So let's say $500 is the booking for the room. I'll make sure that within the first 10 people who purchase my ticket or get my ticket and come to see me is going to give me the money back. So let's say $500 for the room. Although guess what? I mean, 10 people come to see me. I mean, $50 each. I make the money back really quickly. So let's say, for example, it's $50,000 to see me. I mean, let's say it's $50,000 for the room. I make sure that I make sure within the first 10 tickets, I make my money back. I mean, in a sense, so what is the number? I mean, $5,000 to see me. I understand? I mean, that's how it is, because look at the room, man. I mean, the room is that much. I have to make it back within 10 sales tickets. I understand? So no matter what, that's your calculation. I mean, if you want to understand the most affordable number, is 10. I understand? Although it's really number 1. I mean, number 1 is the most affordable number. So if you understand every single day, that it's really, I calculate it by 10. I understand? Because 10 commandments of God. I mean, you understand? So I'll just go by that number. But I understand every single day, no matter what, that the 10 has a 1 in it. Because what's much better? I mean, is it the 0 or the 1? I mean, it's much more they understand that the 1 is much better. I mean, put yourself first. I mean, never put yourself at 0. Understand? I mean, put yourself at 1. Understand? I mean, put yourself first. I mean, every single day, focus on understanding that no matter what, that we're going to focus upon common sense work today, and we're going to make sure every single day that we're lifting people to greatness, and we're doing something every single day to make sure that everybody's prospering around us. Because what's important is understanding that as long as I do life coaching videos like this all day long, and I also write all day long in my journal about life itself and how to get around and how to do my finances and how to really, really prosper, I prosper right away. I mean, no matter what situation you put me in, I make sure that I'm going to write a way to find out how to do better. I understand? I mean, if you put me in the worst position possible, I will find a way to make it the best possible position for me. I understand? So if it's the worst position in life where you're finding yourself right now, that's what's best for you. I mean, where you are right now is best for you. And that's your learning experience right now. So what you need to do is you have to learn from it. I mean, as long as you're learning, I mean, what can stop you? I mean, if you're learning from that situation right now, I mean, you'll never be stuck ever again in that situation. I mean, you'll grow out of it. I mean, if you're stuck in Sydney or Australia or let's say Africa and you want to travel the world, I mean, eventually you will travel the world everywhere for free as long as you're learning and growing. That's it. If you understand that, I mean, find ways to learn and grow now. I mean, I'm teaching you now as a life coach how to do that. I make sure every single day I'm writing more videos, I'm doing more planning, I'm doing more journaling, I'm doing more writing content to find my way throughout life much better. I mean, in a sense, so no matter what age you live in, I mean, even if they allow you to travel for free from this point on, and there's no money involving in the world, and there's no money circulating, but there's always money circulating in the words you give to people. So I'm always doing this work regardless of the economy around me. I mean, in a sense, so if there's no money in this world, or if there is money in this world, I'm always making more money with the words I speak. I mean, in a sense, so money is in the words you speak. And every single day, you have to understand that you have to get up on video and you have to do something consistently, very quickly. I'm always consistent 1 hour a day because I'm doing far more than all my mentors and they're richer. And now, guess what? I'm more richer than them because now I understand that no matter what, that when you're calling other people richer than you, I mean, guess what? I mean, then you're the richest. I mean, you understand? But if you're calling other people poorer than you, I mean, guess what? I mean, make sure that you're the richest. I understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day, focus on being the richest anyway. But focus on understanding that no matter what, that you be humble because I understand how it is to be poor. I understand how it is to be rich. I mean, understand? But the whole point of life is going poor to rich. I mean, understand? Because when you understand how to be poor and how to be rich, I mean, that's the whole spectrum. But some people are born into a family of rich people and they just understand how to be rich. I mean, they've never been poor. I mean, they have never been poor in their life. I mean, since I have a privilege over here, I understand that no matter what, I was born into a family of people who are never millionaires in terms of plastic money. I mean, that's what we consider poor and rich today. I mean, it's more than plastic money in your life. I mean, although my family is rich in communicational skills, I understand. I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, everybody's rich to a certain extent. So focus on that richness that you have, and that's your talent. And now go and make millions of dollars on that talent. Unfortunately, that's it. Unfortunately, now my talent is communication. I mean, pure communication to teach you something. That's it. That's my talent. Now, I can only be doing music production, and as long as I'm teaching you something about it. I mean, so no matter what, I'm always focusing upon understanding that everything about my music talent and everything I have is straightforward. I make videos and I make spyware production where I go into the I go into the laptop and I make sure I'm recording the screen while I'm doing my music production. I mean, that's how I teach you. Visual. I mean, I teach you visually. I teach you visually what I'm doing in my music production softwares. I mean, that's it. And now my words and all that, I mean, that's all in my life coaching videos. I mean, I said, so either way, I'm teaching you either my journal about music production or life, or I'm teaching you my life coaching videos about everything together. I mean, in a sense, so if you want to have the whole package, you have to understand life. I mean, you have to understand life coach. You have to understand every single day that you're going to go throughout life. You're going to be able to give people a call. So every single day, focus on understanding that you have to give people a call. You have to understand that sometimes you have to get the train, and bus service. That is the link in terms of the number for Queensland, and also Alice Springs has a different number, and Western Australia has a different number, and so does Sydney, Australia, and so does Melbourne, Australia, and also Adelaide, Australia, because it's all different states. So every single different state has a different number to call for bus and service station in terms of bus and service number. Now, if you understand that is the same in your country, for every single city, there's a different number you have to call. That's it. Now, every single day, focus on understanding that you get all those numbers to support yourself to travel, and then understand you go the most affordable way. So, for example, let's say from Coffs Harbour, Australia, to Mackay, Australia, in terms of Queensland. I mean, guess what? I mean, the ticket for the plane ticket, is around $460 because Coffs Harbour has a, let's say, airport that's smaller than Brisbane one. I mean, although if you just travel 4 hours to Brisbane and you give $8 for the bus or train station, and you give $8 to just travel 4 hours to Brisbane, I mean, you can get yourself a plane flight for $113, and it's more for you, and you get yourself a better deal by just going to Brisbane to travel from Brisbane to Mackay, which is a 1 hour flight or 1 hour 30-minute flight, and it's $113 rather than traveling from Coffs Harbour and giving $460. What's the difference? I mean, the difference is that it's much more affordable for you to be in Brisbane, Australia, traveling anywhere around Australia, because you get better deals because it's a main city and it's a bigger airport than the smaller airports. I mean, so anything that's a smaller airport today in your country is much more, let's say, expensive than the main cities of your country's airports. I understand because they have better deals. And now understand either way, I save so much money like this. And now, how much is so much money? I mean, so much money is understanding that whatever's more affordable is so much money. I understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's the best way to say it. I mean, if you understand that no matter what, when I go the most affordable way, that's a lot of money to me. I understand? Now, what is a lot of money really? A lot of money really is the smart way. I mean, understand? I mean, it's the smartest way. I mean, that's what I mean. $500. I mean, that's never a lot of money, but guess what? I mean, it's enough money to help you to, let's say, travel somewhere. And it's enough money to help you to have clothes and food and drink. I understand. I mean, that's enough money. I mean, how much is a lot of money? I mean, a lot of money is how much you give in your communication. I mean, understand. But anything that where somebody has no health, I mean, that's the most, let's say, expenses of life. I mean, the expense of life or something that's so negative in liability in your life of finances is poor health. So, I mean, so what's a liability? I mean, a liability is something that takes away money from you. I mean, understand? So sometimes that can be you. I mean, sometimes you have $1,000 and guess what? I mean, you just put it into gambling and you just lost it all in a day. I mean, that's a liability. I mean, why? Because of your habit. When your habit, I mean, your habits can be liabilities. Your habits can be assets as well. I mean, what's an asset? I mean, an asset is when you're so smart that you're learning and growing and doing much more communicational work that people are just calling you everywhere because you're so smart. I mean, how do you get that nice, beautiful asset going? I mean, you have to communicate more. I mean, that's it. I mean, you have to do more videos. You have to help more people. I mean, an asset column is something that, let's say you have real estate and you have money and you put it aside and you get more money. I mean, anywhere where you're getting more money is what an asset is. So sometimes when I travel from Brisbane, I mean, I travel to Coffs Harbour. I get from Coffs Harbour to Brisbane by bus. I give $8. And then I go to Brisbane and I get my plane to Mackay, Queensland. And I give only $140. I mean, instead of giving $460 at Coffs Harbour, I made an asset column here. I made a saving. I made some savings over here. I made $340 of savings. I mean, that's an asset column. So anything that's saving your money, that's a smarter skill where you're communicating better deals is an asset column. I mean, if I just travel to Brisbane to get my plane, I save $340. So I may as well go to Brisbane and stay there for 2 weeks because I have to go busking performances because that's an asset column. I mean, why is it asset column? I get to be 42 hours in front of people public speaking. I mean, that's an asset to me. I mean, that's something of an asset because that means I get to develop my communicational skills and public speaking skills in front of people. I get to develop in front of people. So that is an asset column. I mean, an asset column is when you're developing only. So if I want to go anywhere, I realize if you want to go anywhere around the world, you have to be developing in order for yourself to have more assets. I mean, anything that's a liability is somebody that's never learning and they're never growing and they're doing alcohol and drugs. I mean, alcohol and drugs alone is a liability. So I'm a sober individual because sobriety is an asset column. I mean, do you understand that? I mean, sobriety. I mean, to be sober and to be away from alcohol and drugs and drug addicts and poor people who have less than $1 million is a asset column. Understand? I mean, if I stay away from you, I mean, that's my assets. I mean, why? I mean, why do I have to be around you? I mean, you're watching me now. I'm much more famous. I'm much more popular than you because you're watching me. I mean, understand? So why do I need to be around you? I mean, give me an offer. I mean, give me some money to be around you. I mean, if you give me some money to be around you, I mean, now you're my assets column. I mean, you're my asset. I mean, more money is coming from this source. I mean, if you give me $50,000 to see you, I mean, that's my source of income. So no matter what, I give you my time for your money. I mean, saying, but I'm never doing it for the money. I'm doing it for because I need to grab that money to do my business for God so that I can go help people much more with that money you give me. I mean, that's it. I mean, if you pour money into me, I mean, you're the best service for everybody. I'm pretty sure now where your money goes is who you are. I mean, if you give me your money, I mean, you're becoming me. I mean, you're becoming the best service on the planet. I mean, but most people give their money to Coca-Cola. I mean, that's a liability because Coca-Cola only gives them white sugar. I mean, white sugar is a liability. I mean, caffeine is a liability. I mean, it's a liability. I mean, nobody ever grows from caffeine. I mean, caffeine only takes away from you. I mean, caffeine takes away money from you because it makes you addicted. I mean, it makes you addictive to the caffeine. I mean, then you need the caffeine. I mean, before you even do anything in your day, you need to drink a coffee. I was like that. I mean, cigarettes, or anything that makes you, let's say, addicted to that substance or something that makes you need that substance is a liability. I mean, understand? I mean, food and drink, I mean, you must understand that food and drink is what? I mean, you must understand that Jesus Christ says that it's an asset column. I mean, if you're eating better though. I mean, if you're eating better and better, it's an asset column. I mean, how do you eat better though? I mean, stay away from McDonald's. I mean, stay away from the white sugar. I mean, stay away from anything that's poisonous. I mean, stay away from most food out there. But veganism alone is an asset column. I mean, if you're doing veganism, you're an asset with how you eat. But if you go and eat meat, then you're a liability, because what then happens is many animals die because of you. I mean, understand? I mean, that's a liability. Now, every single day, focus on understanding that meat is so much more expensive to eat than it is to eat plant food. Now, plant food and fluid is much more affordable to eat than meat. I mean, in a sense, so anything that's more affordable for you, or a better decision, or a better way, or let's say a better idea, or a better skill, or a better talent, or it's a better way of saying something, or maybe it's better communicational skills, and it's also a better way of communicational skills, is an asset column. Anything that's better for you is an asset column. But anything that never works is a liability. So anything that works is a asset column. If it works for you, it's an asset column. So sometimes free Wi-Fi. Free Wi-Fi is an asset. It's an asset. So go for where the freeway is. The freeway is an asset column. Understand? So what you do is realize my portable speaker here, it's $420, but it's an asset to me. Why is it an asset? Because I get to play music on this, and I get to find out really how it sounds. That's an asset to me, because that's my business. I have a microphone here on top of my actual phone, but it's an asset to me because I use it to have better quality audio. Understand? The UCut application that I have, UCut application, instead of doing 10 hours of uploading, I do 3 hours of uploading. Understand? Because why? I go from 1080 HD to 480 pixels. I save 7 hours of uploading and more every single day. That's an asset to me because it's quicker work functions. I look to work quicker. I look to upload my videos quicker. I want to upload my video in 1 second. I never want to upload in 1 hour every single time. Understand? In the sense that no matter what, I'm never uploading my videos for 1 hour at a time. I'm uploading my videos for the best times. Understand? I'm uploading something better. I'm making sure I'm looking for better deals. So for example, I was looking around Brisbane for better deals, and guess what? I found a nice, beautiful time capsule where I could go live in a 1-bedroom for around $30 a night. And now I'm better than $30 a night, but I understand, although I am saying it this way in a way that you must understand that I never do it for money, I do it for my word I. I'm pretty sure, although, that this nice, beautiful place is $30 a night, but I have a 1-bedroom. But guess where it is? It's 5 kilometers away from Brisbane City. Guess what? It's still a reference. It's the best idea. It's still the best idea because that there is the most affordable rate for me to live in Brisbane. It's the most affordable way to live in Brisbane. On $30 a night, where you can get yourself a 1-bedroom. A 1-bedroom. So no matter what, you have peace and quiet anyway. So what else is there to do in Brisbane 5 kilometers away from Brisbane? Guess what? I move closer to Brisbane and I get myself something much better than that. I get myself a hotel in Brisbane and I live in a hotel. But either way, if anything happens, I always have the $30 a night option. Understand? Whereas now, if you're a backpacker, for example, you have certain ways of having accommodation for even more affordable rates, where you can go to Brisbane and live with $17 a day for accommodation. You give $17 a day and you get yourself a 4-bedroom apartment where, you're living with other people though, but it's $17 a night, but you're living you're living in the center of CBD Brisbane. You're living right in the middle. So what happens is, or if you want to have better business skills as a backpacker, but you want to do busking performances, and you want to do something around Brisbane, and you want to be closer to the city, then you have to sometimes sacrifice being in a 1-bedroom apartment to be with other people living so that you can do your work. Because by the time you get to Brisbane from the 1-bedroom apartment, you have to give transport money, you have to also get the Uber, you have to also understand that it takes you 30 minutes to even get to the city. So sometimes it's much better to move closer to the city and live with other people so that you can do your business. Understand? What can be your business? It can be public speaking gigs in front of people in Brisbane. So you want to be closer to the city to be able to just walk it very quickly and just do it very quickly. Isn't that nicer to get 30 minutes earlier somewhere to do your business than to take 1 hour to do that? I mean, it's much better, isn't it? So look for a way to do your business closer to where you need to go. Understand? I mean, if you want to go and live somewhere, I mean, live closer to where you work, is what I'm saying. I mean, never, I mean, what's better? I mean, you're working in New Zealand, but you live in Australia. I mean, but then you have to get the plane every single day to get to New Zealand and 6 hour travel. Or isn't it better for you to just live in, I mean, go and live in New Zealand and live in a place there, but it takes you 1 hour to get to, I mean, from that place, it takes you 1 hour to get to work instead of 6 hours. I mean, what's better? I mean, of course, 1 hour is better, isn't it? I rush now every single day. Never look for a local business, is what I'm saying. I mean, work in New Zealand from where you are. I mean, how do you do that? I mean, you do online work. I mean, now I post this video online. I mean, the whole New Zealand can see now. I mean, everybody in New Zealand can see my video. I mean, everybody in Africa can see this video now because it's YouTube. I mean, that's my business. I work everywhere now. I mean, this is my business, man. I mean, this is my life coaching business. So I upload all these videos and courses online. I mean, that's it. For the rest of my life. I mean, isn't that a beautiful business? Because if I work a 9 to 5 job, I do this business too. I mean, I'm still doing my business, regardless of the 9 to 5 job, man. I mean, guess what? I mean, this is my side hustle, but this is my real business. I mean, the 9 to 5 job is just something that gets me by. I mean, 9 to 5 job never really makes you a millionaire, but this video does. I mean, these videos that I make makes you a 9 to 5 guru, and it makes you a 24/7 guru, but it makes you something better. I'm never working 9 to 5. I'm working 24/7. But this video, after the 9 to 5, where you're a life coach on the side, I mean, guess what? I mean, you go and work a 9 to 5, and guess what happens? You get the money, but you're able to live for a week because you went to 9 to 5 work. But then, guess what? I mean, that's why you can do 7 hours of videos now for the whole week. I mean, you can do 7 hours of videos now for the whole week while you're working a 9 to 5 job, while you have a family too. I mean, although you have to live in one area, because when you have a 9 to 5 job, you have to understand, otherwise you're moving 9 to 5 work area to another area. Of course, that's different. But if you're working a 9 to 5 job, I mean, they make you stay in one area. But then you stay in one area for 1 year, but develop your talent online. I mean, develop your talent online and have a family or whatever. I understand. But do what's best for you. I mean, for me, it's much better for me to have a kids and a wife when I'm 40 years of age. I'm 28 right now. I mean, that's another 12 years of being single life with me. I want to be single. I want to have fun. I want to have a better life for myself. I understand. I mean, every single day, I understand no matter what, that's just the way I am. But I understand every single day that if you want to be promiscuous and you want to go having sex around, I mean, that's up to you. I mean, go and do what you want to do. But every single day, I'm focusing on developing my talents and being single for the next 12 years. Because I believe that in the year 2021, it's much better to have kids after you're 40 years of age. After 40. I mean, why? Because you can still have kids even though you're a woman or a man from 40 years of age to 55. I mean, you can still have kids. I understand? I mean, every single day, no matter what, you have to understand that no matter what, it's a much better time to do so from this point. When you're 40 years of age. I mean, my biological dad and mother, it's 20 years apart. I mean, my biological dad is 40, and my biological mum is 20 years of age when they had me. Understand? So no matter what, you must understand that it works out. I mean, if you want to go for a younger woman, I mean, you can go. I mean, guess what? I mean, just make sure that you're a man. I understand? I mean, you must understand, I can go for a younger woman. I mean, understand? I mean, although I understand that's the way it's said. I mean, that's the way I understand that if I have an older woman or I have a younger woman, I'd rather go for the younger ones. I mean, understand? I mean, that's how it is, isn't it? Although, guess what? I mean, I'd rather go for a virgin than a drug addict woman. I understand? I'd rather go for a woman that is sober than a woman who's doing drugs. I'd rather go for, out of virgin woman and famous woman, I'd rather go for the famous ones. I'd rather go for famous woman, but then I have to be famous. I mean, in order to get famous, you have to be famous. I mean, do you understand? So, for example, PK and Shakira. I mean, PK and Shakira, they're both famous in different areas. You understand? Whereas now, that's the way it is. Whereas now, every single day, focus on understanding that you have to raise your standards. I mean, you have to raise the individual you are. I mean, nobody else is going to raise you. I mean, you have to be the one to do that. Yeah. I mean, every single day, I'm focusing on understanding that there's always a better way, but focusing on understanding that now, since I have more travel experience, I can carry 30 kilos on me on the plane. I mean, guess what? I mean, I throw away all the food. I throw away all the clothing. I mean, guess what? I mean, now I have 20 kilos on the plane. I mean, that's it. I mean, you can take. You can bring 32 kilos on the plane, but guess what? I mean, 15 kilos is a portable speaker. I mean, 15 kilos is a portable speaker that I bring. I need to bring my portable speaker with me. I don't like. I'm a music producer. I mean, without a portable speaker, I can then just listen to the music with headphones. Which it's never enough for me. I need a portable speaker to pump it somewhere. I need to be listening to it. I need to see, is it pumping? I mean, does it sound good at a festival? I mean, in a sense, so that's why I bring my portable speaker. But otherwise, I bring 10 kilos on the plane. I mean, guess what? I mean, otherwise, I bring 5 kilos on the plane. Because what else do I need? I throw away all the clothes, I throw away all the food and drink. I mean, in a sense, so no matter what, I still have my bag with technology. I just bring my bag with technology on the plane, and that's it. I mean, the trolley is something different. Understand? But the trolley I bring on the plane too. I mean, the trolley on its own is around 3 kilos. Understand? So I bring that on the plane as well because I need to anyway understand that I want to bring stuff with me because regardless, I never need a trolley, but I bring it with me anyway. I bring a trolley with me because I need a trolley right now. I can, however, totally delete it from my life, but then guess what? I then have to carry all the shopping. I then have to carry the portable speaker too. I then have to carry everything with myself, but I just get a trolley in. I get a trolley and I give $50 to get in the trolley. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Now, if you understand how to work smartly, I never have to carry anything. I just carry 2 phones in my pocket. I have 2 phones in my pocket all the time. I mean, my other phones are in my shoulder bag. I mean, so every single day I have 4 phones. I mean, why? Because one's for video work. I mean, one's for other works or material. But either way, I must understand that right now I'm only going to stick to 2 phones. Understand? I make sure every single day I'm focusing on having more anyway. I always have more than what I have. I promise you every single day I focus on giving you guys a nice, beautiful way of methods of every single day, understanding that it's much more about communicational skills than anything else. I promise you, if you understand to make much more videos every single day and to focus on loving people every single day in a way that you're going to give much more knowledge because it's about your legacy. I mean, what's more important? I mean, is it a 9 to 5 job or is it the 9 to 5 in terms of the legacy that you're living? I mean, is it a 9 to 5 job or legacy? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, what is important to you? I mean, I go for legacy. I go for something great. Understand? I mean, the 9 to 5 job is a liability, but also it can be an asset. I mean, the 9 to 5 job can be an asset to you or a liability. So depending on how you are as a financial guru of your own, and depending on how much you financially invest your money consciously, and you can see where your money is going, I mean, then what happens is your finances become an asset. I mean, whatever your finances are, I mean, that's an asset. So when you're traveling the world, it's an asset. I mean, why is it an asset? Because I understand Alice Springs. I understand Perth. I understand Darwin. I understand I've been there. I understand I've went to Hobart. I can see how it is. I can see how it is in this place. I can see how it is around Australia. I mean, that's my asset. So if I want to travel around Australia, I can see the best deals. I can see the best deals now. I can see where I've been. I can see now how to go about it. That's an asset. I mean, that's an asset because I can see how to go about it. I mean, an asset column for me is where I can develop. I mean, my asset column is where I can do my business now. I mean, online in terms of social media and YouTube and Instagram and Mega Drive is my asset column. I mean, all of this in terms of these videos is asset. I mean, why is it an asset? Because it's going to help people for generations. So anything that's helping people for generations is an asset column. I mean, what do you leave back in the world? I mean, you leave back your wisdom and knowledge, just like Jesus Christ leaves you the Bible, which is an asset column to you. I mean, that's an asset. I mean, books and people are an asset columns to you. I mean, they're asset columns to you. I mean, people overall are assets to you. I mean, if you understand how to grow with people, I mean, it's an asset column. I mean, if you understand how to grow, I promise you it's an asset. I promise you, if you understand how to do anything in life and make events, I promise you it's an asset column. I promise you now, if you understand nothing about life, I promise you that's a liability. I understand because why? I mean, why aren't you learning? I mean, why aren't you growing? I mean, understand? I mean, if you just want to study in life, I mean, that's an asset. And that's it. Right now, every single day, if you just want to watch TV all day, right, that is a liability. Right, that's a liability. Right now, Netflix. Right now, guess what? I mean, Netflix is different. Right now, if you go and watch Netflix very quickly, right now, either way, you must understand that you're watching something, but be planning along the way. Right now, if you're planning and watching TV, you can do it. But if you're just watching TV and you're doing nothing else, that becomes a liability. Yeah. Right now, if I just watch Netflix now, and I do nothing else for the rest of my life, I mean, how boring is that? I mean, how boring is that? I mean, how boring is it? How boring is it to just do Netflix all your life? I mean, isn't that boring life? I mean, that's a boring life, yeah. I mean, guess what? I mean, if you mix Netflix with other aspects of your life where you're also planning and strategizing while you are actually watching Netflix. So you're writing a bit and then watching Netflix. You write a bit and then watch Netflix. Guess what? That becomes an asset. Do you understand? But the watching of life, if you're watching life, is it an asset? It's an asset. It's an asset to watch life alone. It's an asset to watch me. It's an asset to go and watch new scenery, isn't it? If you go somewhere where it's new scenery, that's an asset. If you see something that you've never seen before, for sure that's an asset column. You said, if you read something you've never read before, for sure that's an asset column. You understand? So every single day, focus on understanding that if you want more skills, you have to understand every single day to grow up. You have to grow up quickly. So people from the past and people from way back in high school, where I went to high school with them, and I went to these places with the Serbian people of Australia. Guess what? They are very immature. They're very immature people, and they're very, let's say, arrogant. Understand? And because they never want to create a YouTube channel to help Serbia, they never want to help anybody. They just want to be an electrician or a plumber, or else they want to be a plumber, or else they want to be a printer of a company. They want to work at a printing factory, like an employer. They want to be an employee. They just want to be an employee all their life. That's them. Although I'm an employee. I'm your employee. I'm your employee. I'm your employee right now. I'm self-employment right now. I'm doing self-employment in this video, but I'm an employee too. Although am doing that, but I'm flexible about it. I'm doing it internationally. I'm doing it locally as well. I'm in Coffs Harbour right now. I'm working locally in Coffs Harbour. I'm also working in New Zealand because New Zealand can watch me now. Now anybody around the world can watch me. I'm doing my work. I'm self-employment right now, and I'm also an employee. I'm working for you. I'm working this video for you. Although guess what? Then you must understand I'm only working for the word I. The word I is everything. Every single day focus on understanding. Then also this is my business. It's a local business. I'm working in Coffs Harbour. Here I am. It's a local business. Yeah, but it's also an international business. It's a business. This is my business. Although then what is my investment? I'm an investor too. I'm an investor as well. So I'm investing in myself right here to teach you something, and I'm investing in my business. I'm investing in I as an employee and as a self-employment company right now. Now, those are the four business quadrants. Those are the four business quadrants that Robert Kiyosaki states in his book, The Four Quadrants of Life. That sense, so go and read the book. I said, although that you have to be an employee and self-employment and business and investor side. You have to be all four together. Understand? Although if you find yourself on the spectrum of the four quadrants, which is employee or self-employed, then you have also nice, beautiful business and investor side. Self-employment and employee is on the left side, but business and investor is on the right side. But you have to be on the right side much more. You have to be in the business and investor side. Now, if you find yourself a business and investor side, find yourself in the investor side even more. You have to be an investor even more than a business. Why is that? Because I have to invest in people. I have to invest in companies. I have to invest my time. I have to invest in the business first. I have to invest in everything first. In a sense, but if you're just having a business, how about investing in your business? The whole deal is the investing side of things. If you become an investor, then you can also invest in employees. You can invest in people who are self-employment. You can invest in people who have business. You can invest in everything. Understand? So understand to believe in yourself, to think like an investor rather than somebody who is doing anything else. Understand? So every single day, focus on understanding that I have to invest into Jesus Christ. I have to invest in everybody. Understand? So that's why I'm an investor. I'm looking for better deals. I'm looking for better investments. I'm looking for better ways of doing everything. I'm thinking and growing rich like Napoleon Hill. I'm just doing much better than Napoleon Hill. That's it. But Napoleon Hill states something in his book, and he says that people seldom succeed before 40. What does that mean? That people only ever succeed after 40 years of age. That's it. After 40 years of age, they start really, really getting more serious about life, and they stop having fun like they did before, and they start really getting into business and leadership now. After 40 is what Napoleon Hill says. And it's true. Most people around the planet, after 40 years of age, they start getting more serious. But before 40 years of age, they're going around fucking, and they're fucking around and they're fooling around and doing drugs and going night clubbing and the backpackers and all this. I understand. So either way, you must understand that I am successful right now. So no matter what, I'm always looking to succeed. Seldom now. I mean, that means I'm always succeeding. I understand. So no matter what, I'm looking for better ways of developing my communicational skill so that everybody can understand my voice. So no matter what, then once you develop, I've been developing my voice now for 3 years. I've been developing the public speaking scenario and talking in front of the video for 3 years now. I've been doing it. And I did start off slow. I did start off very slow. I did start off my first 40 courses, and then I was improving, but then I did stop for a bit. I did stop, and then I did continue, and then here I am now. I just continue now really quickly. I went from uploading videos, 40 videos a year, to uploading 365 videos a year. In a sense, so I did start off slow. In a sense, so either way, I'm looking to always develop even more skills to be able to go and do longer videos and to be able to give you more ideas, because the more problems I solve now, the richer I am. That's how simple it is. But my communicational skills in terms of my words is very powerful. And if you understand that my looks look nothing like, my looks look nothing like the words I speak. I understand, although my looks is everything. I love my looks. I'm sure that every single day I'm looking to understand that I'm always the equal amount of what I am. I understand I'm always giving as much as I look. I understand, so every single day I'm focusing upon understanding to better myself and my communicational skills daily, so I can help people and so I can help grow you, and so I can understand that no matter what, that even if I do anything to support myself with this video every single day, I look to understand that no matter what, I upload it online every single day the most fastest way. So with this video, I understand either way I put it into a nice beautiful 720 HD, but guess what, I understand either way that it has to go into 480 pixel, and then I understand that no matter what, I just upload it as is, because I understand that what's important is giving you the best quality and understanding to maximize my effects online and to be able to go and do my work much better than everything. Because I understand that if I do let's say, if I ever do a 2-hour video, I promise you then I just upload it as is, because what's amazing is every single day that if you go and really develop the skill of doing 1-hour videos every single day, you're going to focus upon a better leadership skill. You're going to focus on giving people a lot of ideas in one video, and then we're going to go and move on. We're going to move into a better idea. We're going to do some busking performances. We're going to go in front of people, and we're going to really lead people alone, because I do it alone. You must do it alone. Everybody must do it alone. Everybody must do life alone. Even though we're together, you must grow your. You must grow your life. I must grow your life. I must grow everybody. I must grow every time the word I, and then understand every single day that I'm always looking for new ideas. But anyway, guys, guess what? Every single day you guys are welcome in my videos. Subscribe and go and share my videos around, because guess what? I need you guys to understand that if you share me around, other people get this message too. Every single day you have to understand that my messages really help you grow, because it's all ideas that I'm giving. And when I'm giving ideas, I help the most people in the planet, because every single day you must understand that's the whole point. Let's maximize that beautiful potential we have so we can grow and love life.